He says it like he's announcing a weather forecast. I'm moving in with Claire for a while. She needs help after her procedure. You'll understand someday. The steam from my herbal brew curls into the space between us, soft and harmless. My fingers are steady when I set it down. The drink cools, but I don't. I look at him, the man I've shared my mornings and mortgage with, standing by the counter as if confessing a small sin, not detonating our life. His glasses keep slipping down his nose. His hands can't find stillness. That's how I know he's lying. When do you leave? I ask. He blinks. He expected tears, maybe shouting. Not this. Tomorrow. Her procedure's on Thursday. It's nerve damage. From the accident last year. He can't look at me when he says it. His voice gets careful, rehearsed. 2 months, I repeat softly. She's been planning it for 2 months? He nods, relieved that I'm engaging, that I'm giving him something easy, calmness. While I planned our anniversary weekend, he planned his exit. She doesn't have anyone else, he adds, and the phrase comes out too fast, too smooth. That's when I almost laugh. I've seen Claire's social feed photos, her constant dinners, the beach trips, her sister smiling beside her. But I just say, how fortunate she has you. He mistakes sarcasm for sincerity. He always does. I rinse my cup in the sink. Outside, Mrs. Clements walks her dog down the street, same time as always. The world keeps its rhythm, even when mine skips a beat. He keeps talking, about morality, responsibility, the right thing to do. Every word is a stone he stacks to build his defense. I can't abandon her, Elise. We were married 8 years. And we've been married 5, I remind him, drying my hands. You're consistent, at least. He flinches but doesn't respond. I understand, I tell him finally, turning toward him with a smile I don't feel. You're doing the decent thing. He exhales, relieved. The boyish smile returns, the one that used to melt me. Now it just looks cheap. You're amazing, he says. I know, I answer. Upstairs, I pack his suitcase, the one from our honeymoon. The luggage tag still says forever begins today. The irony makes me want to laugh out loud. While he showers, humming like he always does when guilt gnaws at him, I open his laptop. No password as usual. His inbox lights up with truth. Subject line, post-procedure arrangements. 2 months of messages. Dates. Times. Affection hidden behind logistics. Her last one. Can't wait to have you here again. Feels like we're getting our second chance. His reply. Elise won't fight it. She's too polite. Too polite. That's what I am to him. Not kind, not trusting, just polite. I close the laptop. My hands are steady. I fold another shirt, crisp, deliberate. He walks out of the bathroom in a towel, smelling like eucalyptus and betrayal. You don't have to do this, he says, watching me pack for him. What kind of wife would I be if I didn't help my husband when he's off to care for someone else? He doesn't hear the blade hidden in my voice. I ask what he wants for breakfast. Scrambled. He says, small, grateful. Of course. The home kitchen feels colder in the first light of daybreak. I cook. He scrolls his phone. I wonder if he's reading her messages. I wonder if she's counting down the hours until she can wear my husband like an old sweater. The doorbell rings. It's my friend Nina. No warning, just her intuition. She takes one look at me, then at the half-packed bag by the stairs. Elise, what's happening? Ryan's helping Claire after her procedure. I say brightly, plating eggs. Her eyes narrow. Claire Porter. I nod. The one doing the cosmetic reconstruction? Her words slice through the air. I pause mid-stir. Cosmetic. Yeah. I saw the hospital schedule. Not nerve damage, aesthetics. It takes everything not to let the pan slip from my hand. How thoughtful, I say. Perfect timing for a miracle recovery. Nina's eyes search mine. She knows me too well. You want me to stay? No. He needs to eat. Big day ahead. When she leaves, the house feels sharper. Every sound has an edge. Ryan sits across from me, pretending to have an appetite. I'll check our joint account, he says. Make sure you have enough while I'm gone. He doesn't mention the missing money, the transfers, the consultation fees. I don't mention them either. Not yet. Instead, I refill his cup. You're incredible, he says again. The words fall flat this time. When he's gone upstairs to make calls, I sit at the table with my herbal brew, cold again, untouched. I think about all the women who smiled when their husbands lied. All the women who mistook control for devotion. The plan forms slowly, like frost on glass. Precise. Quiet. Beautiful. By the time he returns to the home kitchen, the decision is made. I will drive him there myself. The next day rises pale and ordinary, the kind of day that pretends nothing happened. The kettle whistles. The neighbor's sprinkler clicks to life. The world insists on normalcy, and I let it. Ryan moves through the house like a man in borrowed skin. He checks his phone too often. He avoids my eyes. He doesn't realize I'm memorizing everything. The way he exhales before lying, the faint tremor in his fingers when he says her name. I can drive myself, he says. I insist, I answer, already holding the car keys. He thinks my cooperation is surrender. It isn't. It's choreography. While he loads his bag, I slip into his office. His filing cabinet's key still hides beneath the dictionary he's never opened. He's predictable like that. The drawer gives easily. Paper has a smell, dust, ink, a trace of deceit. Inside, old tax records, warranty slips, then newer documents, sharp-edged, still smelling of printer toner. A policy. A name. A number. $460,000. On Claire Porter. Beneficiary, Ryan Porter. The pieces click into place with a terrible grace. I scan the payment history. Monthly deductions from our shared account. 2 years of quiet theft. And behind it, another paper, a property transfer, partial ownership of her townhouse signed over to him just weeks ago. I take photos. 23 in total. Every signature, every date, every careless proof of his small god complex. Downstairs, the sound of drawers closing, he's finishing his packing. I slide everything back into place, return the key, and walk out calm, steady, untouched. He looks up when I reappear. Ready? Always, I say. We eat breakfast in near silence. He compliments the eggs again, like that could erase the sound of my heart hardening. When he thanks me for being so understanding, I almost smile. If he knew how much understanding costs, he'd never use the word again. The drive to Claire's house takes 20 minutes. He hums along to some old song about redemption. The irony could strangle him. Claire lives at the end of a cul-de-sac lined with identical lawns and plastic letterboxes. The kind of street where everyone waves but no one listens. She opens the door before we even park. Her hair is curled. Her makeup flawless. She's wearing silk pajamas, not a trace of post-procedure discomfort. Elise, she says sweetly, you're such a saint for supporting this. I smile. I try my best. The air between us is perfumed and poisoned. Inside, everything looks staged, the wheelchair untouched, the medicine bottles turned outward for display, fresh flowers positioned for sympathy. Even her living room feels like a set, one where I already know the ending. Ryan carries his bag upstairs. Claire hovers close, her hand finding his sleeve too easily. I set the cooler of prepared meals on the counter, each container labeled neatly. This should help while you recover. I say, placing a small jar on top. My homemade herbal blend, soothing and golden. Claire glances at it like it's something alive. How thoughtful, she murmurs. Her tone doesn't match the words. Neither does mine. I should go, I announce. Ryan walks me to the door, visibly relieved. I'll call you later. Take all the time you need. I reply loud enough for Claire to hear. In the car I breathe once, long, controlled. Then I drive 2 blocks away to a small cafe, and sit in the corner with my laptop. The cafe smells like cinnamon and anonymity. I upload the photos, store them in 3 different cloud folders, then print them, one by one. Insurance policy, property deed, email screenshots, her smiling photo sharing app update from a vineyard tour weekend 3 days before her procedure. I slide everything into a craft mailer with a metal clasp. The final touch is a note, written in altered handwriting on cream paper. Claire, you should know that your caretaker took out a $460,000 policy in your name, paid from joint funds. He also added himself to your property deed. Ask why. Ask soon. A concerned neighbor. When I walk past her letterbox 20 minutes later, the sky is already turning that pale orange of early evening. The mailer slides in easily. The red flag goes up. A quiet act, almost gentle. But I know what comes next. Morning comes bright, almost mocking. I move through my house like nothing's changed. Make dark roast, feed the cat, answer work emails. Normalcy is my camouflage. By 7:30, I know she's awake. Claire's the kind of woman who checks her letterbox before her first sip of dark roast. She's posted about it. Part of my mindful morning routine. So at 7:31, I pour myself another cup and wait. The phone doesn't ring. Not yet. But I can feel the vibration of consequence moving through the air. Invisible. Inevitable. At 8:15 it buzzes. Not Ryan. Avery. My sister. Her voice is too awake, too alert. You're not gonna believe what I just heard, she starts. Good morning to you too. It's about Claire. Word around the neighborhood reading circle. She's been bragging for weeks that she's getting Ryan back. Planned everything. The surgery, the timing, the poor me act. Even practiced her helpless look in the mirror. I don't respond at first. The truth doesn't shock me. It just confirms my instincts. She rehearsed it. I ask finally. Apparently yes. Her sister said she's been obsessed. Down to scheduling it when you'd be busiest at work. Of course she did. Predators always prefer distracted prey. Avery pauses. So, what are you going to do? Finish my herbal brew, I say. And then call my attorney. The silence on the line stretches long enough to register understanding. By 9 o'clock, I'm on a video call with Dana Whitaker, the lawyer Nina recommended months ago. A quiet woman with a sharp smile. I send her the documents I photographed. She reviews them silently, scrolling, reading. When she finally speaks, her voice is calm but laced with iron. Elise, this is financial misconduct. Fraud, technically. Using marital funds to pay premiums on another woman's insurance policy. That's a serious breach. I take notes, my pen steady. What does that mean legally? It means you have leverage. Significant leverage. The court will see this as dissipation of marital assets. Combined with the property transfer, you could claim the majority of shared finances and a clean divorce. Good. I say simply. Dana Whitaker leans forward. He doesn't know you know, does he? No. Then keep it that way. Let him come to you. It'll strengthen your position. I thank her, close the laptop, and sit back in the quiet. Outside, the wind stirs the maple tree, scattering red leaves across the porch, the first sign of autumn. At 11:47, my phone rings again. Ryan. His voice is nothing like the one that left my house 2 days ago. Elise. I need to come home. I let a pause stretch long enough for him to fill it with panic. What's happened? She's insane. Claire's lost it. She locked me out, threw my stuff on the lawn. She's calling the police. I keep my tone measured. Why? She found something. Some documents. Insurance papers, the house deed. I don't even know where she got them. She's saying I tried to scam her, that I'm after her money. My pulse doesn't change. Inside a dark calm blooms, satisfaction, not joy. The police? I ask softly. That sounds serious. She's crazy. Please, can you come get me? The neighbors are watching. I grab my keys. Of course. Stay where you are. The drive takes 18 minutes. Long enough to compose my expression. Concerned, not smug. Soft, not gloating. When I turn onto Claire's street, I see him immediately. Ryan sitting on his suitcases at the curb, small and disoriented, like lost luggage. His shirt is wrinkled, his hair a mess. Two neighbors pretend to check their letterboxes, but stare openly. Through Claire's front window, I spot her pacing, phone pressed to her ear, voice raised. Her fragile recovery vanished. Now she's all fury and motion. I park and step out slowly, letting the scene breathe. Oh my God, Ryan. I say, loud enough for the audience. What happened? She just went crazy. She found those papers and started screaming about fraud, about manipulation. She said I was using her. Using her? I echo, pretending confusion. It's not true. I was helping her. He looks around, desperate for sympathy. I give him a nod, calm, maternal. Let's get your things in the car, I say. As we load the suitcases, I can feel the neighbor's eyes following every move. The spectacle is public, the humiliation complete. When I glance back toward the house, Claire stands behind the glass, arms crossed, face blazing with righteous rage. For once, she's not performing, she's realizing. Ryan collapses into the passenger seat, head in hands. She's gone completely paranoid. Said something about insurance and coercion. Said her lawyer told her I could be charged. How strange, I murmur. Maybe the medication's affecting her judgment. He seizes on that idea instantly. Exactly. That must be it. We drive in silence, the tires whispering over asphalt. When we turn into our driveway, he exhales, as if proximity to our house could cleanse him. We can fix this, he says. I don't answer. Inside, he drags his bags upstairs while I wait in the home kitchen. 3 minutes later he returns pale. My clothes, they're not in the closet. They're in the guest room, I say, placing a folder on the table. We need to talk. He stands in the doorway like a man who's just realized the floor beneath him isn't solid. Elise, he says, voice small, eyes flicking toward the folder I've laid on the home kitchen table. What's this? Sit down, I tell him. He does slowly, cautiously, like someone stepping through fog. I open the folder and begin to spread the papers in a neat fan. The insurance policy, the property deed, the bank records, the printouts of his emails. Each one lands on the table with the quiet authority of fact. His expression changes by degrees: confusion, denial, shock, fear. Where did you get these? He asks finally. From the filing cabinet you thought I never opened. His lips part, but no words come. I keep my tone gentle, conversational. You took out a life insurance policy on Claire 2 years ago, correct? $460,000, with yourself as the beneficiary. Paid from our joint account. It's not what you think. I think, I interrupt softly, that you were paying premiums with my income. That you also arranged for her to transfer partial ownership of her home to you. And that you plan to move in under the pretext of caregiving. He opens his mouth again, then closes it. There's nothing left to deny. I slide one of the bank statements toward him, the highlighted withdrawals glowing yellow beneath the home kitchen light. You diverted $27,900 over 2 years. Consultation fees. Insurance installments. You've been very creative. He rubs his forehead. Elise, please. You've been planning to build a future with her. I continue evenly. With my money. Using my trust. He finally explodes, slamming his palm against the table. You planned this. You set me up. Correction, I say. I discovered you. He stares at me, breathing hard, eyes wild. You sent those papers to her, didn't you? I tilt my head, watching him unravel. She deserved to know the man moving into her house was also profiting from her hypothetical death. Don't you think? You destroyed me, he says hoarsely. No, I answer. You did that yourself. I just made it visible. His phone buzzes. He looks down and I watch his face drain of color. He turns the screen toward me. Claire's photo-sharing app post already viral. Warning to all women. Ryan Porter tried to defraud me. He took out life insurance in my name and used his wife's money to pay for it. Proof attached. The photos are mine. The documents, the emails, the deed. All public now. The comments scroll endlessly beneath, names we both know reacting in real time. My career, he whispers. My reputation. Yes, I say. Both seem terminal. His phone rings again, his brother, then his boss. Each one a witness to the collapse. He looks up at me, broken now. You've ruined my life. I gather the documents back into the folder, aligning their edges with care. No, Ryan. I gave you the dignity of your own truth. You just didn't like how it looked in daylight. I stand, leaving the folder closed in front of him. The guest room has clean sheets, I tell him. You can stay there until you find a new place. 30 days should be enough. He stares at me, stunned. You can't just throw me out. I'm not throwing you out. I'm giving you notice. He rises suddenly, desperate. Elise, I never meant for it to happen like this. No, I say, turning toward the stairs. You meant for it to happen quietly, with me none the wiser. With my money funding your new life, while you called it compassion. His voice cracks. I still love you. I pause, hand on the banister. Then you should have acted like it. Upstairs, the air feels lighter, untouched by his panic. I close the door behind me and let the silence settle. Downstairs, I can hear him pacing, phone buzzing, his voice breaking against the walls that once held our marriage. I sit on the edge of the bed, my bed now, and exhale slowly. The storm has passed, but its echo hums in the air. Outside, the wind rises. Leaves scatter across the porch. The season is changing, and so am I. 2 weeks drift by like slow water. Ryan moves through the house like a ghost that forgot how to haunt. He keeps to the guest room. The door stays closed most of the time, though sometimes I hear him pacing, short, sharp steps, like guilt-wearing shoes. He's on the phone often, voice low, apologizing to someone new each day. The world has seen him now. Claire's photo-sharing app update keeps circulating, shared by friends of friends, whispered about in grocery aisles and offices. The company issues a quiet statement. Restructuring. It means fired. I don't gloat. I don't need to. His fall is loud enough without my applause. Mrs. Clements stops me on my daybreak walk. Such a shame, she says, tugging at her scarf. I heard about everything with Ryan. You must be devastated. I smile politely. I'm adjusting. Her eyes narrow, curiosity disguised as concern. And Claire? I heard she's pressing charges. So I've been told, I answer. Justice seems to be working overtime this season. That night, I find his key on the home kitchen counter. Silver, cold, wordless. No note. Just absence. I sleep better than I have in months. Days turn into weeks. The gossip cycle spins itself out. I repaint the home kitchen a deep shade of green Ryan once said was too heavy. Now it feels like peace. I reclaim everything he once criticized. My cluttered spice rack, my mismatched mugs, the small imperfections that make a home alive. Sometimes I catch myself listening for his footsteps, that familiar rhythm of tension in the hallway. But all I hear now is quiet. 3 weeks later, my mother arrives without warning. The way she always does when she senses emotional debris. She brings soup, because of course she does. She sets it on the counter and looks at me. You look thinner, she says, her default greeting. I'm eating fine, I reply, smiling. We sit at the table, the same one where Ryan's world ended. The silence between us feels different, not heavy, just honest. After a few spoonfuls, she speaks. Your father wasn't my first husband. The sentence stops me mid-breath. I was 25, she continues, and thought charm meant love. Richard was ambitious, funny, and selfish in ways I didn't yet recognize. He used my trust fund to bankroll his girlfriend's boutique. I blink. You never told me that. She smiles faintly. You never needed to know, until now. What did you do? I ask. I documented everything, she says, her eyes sharp even now. Then I served him the divorce papers at the boutique's grand opening. In front of investors. He tried to talk his way out, of course. They always do. Her spoon clinks against the bowl. He moved away. Married again. Some lessons repeat themselves until you stop letting them. We sit in silence, the quiet kind that feels like solidarity. The best revenge, she says finally, is living well while they live with their choices. You're already doing that. Something inside me settles, like dust after a long storm. Later that night, the house hums with a different energy. I light a candle, pour a glass of wine, and stand by the window. The street outside glows softly under porch lights. For the first time, I feel like I belong in my own life again. The scars of betrayal are invisible, but I trace them anyway, not as wounds, but as proof. My phone buzzes. An unknown email address. Subject. Thank you. The message is short. Elise. I won't insult you with apologies. You saved me from something I didn't want to see. My lawyer says the policy indeed could have ruined me. I've moved out of state. Starting over. You were right about him. I read it twice, then delete it. No need to reply. Some stories don't need sequels. Outside. A breeze moves through the trees. Somewhere, a car door closes, a dog barks, a life continues. Mine does too. 6 months pass. The house no longer remembers him. There's no trace of Ryan anywhere. No shirts in the closet. No aftershave in the bathroom. No ghost of his presence in the air. The silence that once felt sharp now feels soft, like the world has finally exhaled. I host a dinner for the first time since everything. It's small, just Nina, her new boyfriend, my sister Avery, and a couple of neighbors who stood by me through the storm. The table glows under the low light. There's laughter, real, effortless. "Look at you," Nina says, smiling over her wine. "You've come back to life." "I was never gone," I answer. "Just quiet." Avery raises her glass. "To Elise, who proved that sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's revelation." We clink glasses. The sound is bright, crystalline, final. Later, after everyone leaves, I clean the home kitchen slowly. I like doing it by hand. The rhythm of soap, water, glass. It's grounding. Every surface in this house tells a story now. The green walls I painted. The reading nook where I curl up with books again. The office that used to be his. Now mine, lined with shelves of stories written by women who survived things they never should have had to. I sit there sometimes with the window open, listening to the world outside. The distant hum of traffic, someone's laughter, the occasional bark of a dog. Ordinary sounds. Honest sounds. Once I thought love meant endurance, staying, forgiving, folding yourself smaller to fit someone else's comfort. Now I know love can mean leaving, exposing, reclaiming. Ryan doesn't call anymore. His number disappeared months ago, though the internet remembers him well enough. His name still floats in those old posts, tied forever to his choices. I don't search for him. I don't need to. One evening, as the sun sets, I find the old craft mailer with a metal clasp at the back of a drawer. The one that started everything. Its edges are soft now, its purpose fulfilled. I take it outside and drop it into the fireplace. The paper catches quickly, curls inward, blackens, then disappears. For a moment, the flame reflects in the window, and I see my own face, calm, lit, unflinching. I pour myself an herbal brew, jasmine this time, not chamomile, and stand by the window as twilight slides across the street. This house, once heavy with secrets, breathes again. I breathe with it. And as the first stars appear above the quiet roofs of this small town, I realize something simple and true. I didn't just survive him. I outgrew the version of myself that loved him. The clean light fills the room. And I let it.